In any formula for development, clean, drinkable water is a key ingredient. As populations grow and resources are depleted, the world appears to be facing a global water crisis without precedent. The adverse effects of this crisis, as is often the case, are being felt most acutely in least developed countries.
We believe that the sustainable development cannot be achieved without we have a strong water management policy. And therefore, naturally, the water management issue is very, very pertinent.
Managing, or better put it, co-managing our water resources is an emerging challenge for the world as a whole. For a large number of population living in the least developed countries, ensuring low-cost access to safe water and providing protection from more frequently occurring floods and the effect of rising sea levels are all existential issues.
Tajikistan, as a landlocked developing nation whose glacial reserves are melting quickly as a result of climate change, is very familiar with the importance of establishing a sustainable global water policy. At the 4th United Nations Conference on Least Developed Countries in Istanbul, Turkey, Tajikistan sponsored a side event to raise awareness of this fundamentally important, though often neglected, issue.
It is essential that the governments and partners on development should expand their political and financial commitments and enhance the priority of meeting those commitments in order to achieve water-related goals for development during the remaining part of the International Decade Action Water for Life, especially by the developing countries.
In wealthy nations, people often pay only a fraction of what those in impoverished ones do for water, and in many LDCs, water purchases account for up to 10% of a family's annual income. That's more than 3 times the rate deemed acceptable by UN Human Development Standards. Exorbitantly high water prices, along with the drying up of resources and geographic barriers in many least developed countries, means that any water available is quickly used, leaving little for development. This prevents LDCs from establishing basic infrastructure like hygiene and sanitation services necessary for them to achieve growth.
Turning around the current situation, ensuring access to basic sanitation and hygiene and clean drinking water gives people their dignity. These are basic human rights recognized by the United Nations General Assembly in 2010 and by the United Nations Human Rights Council earlier this year. Finding solutions to these problems can also yield significant economic benefits, savings in healthcare costs, improvements in productivity, job creation, increases in tourism. No matter what your portfolio, I would argue that there is a strong connection with sanitation, hygiene, and drinking water, because these issues underpin all aspects of life.
Without water for drinking, cooking, cleaning, and sanitation, sustainable development is an impossibility in least developed countries. The international community is now taking this situation seriously, and water management appears poised to play a significant role in the Istanbul Program of Action currently being drafted. Reporting from Istanbul, Turkey, I'm Connor Schratz for South South News.